August 9th, 2023. Just so you guys know, if these are posted, this is never going to be the same day I make one. It will always come out like after I make it. So I try and make one of these daily drive-bys daily, hence daily drive-bys. But I also know that with that and stockpiling these up for the last couple weeks, months at this point, it's giving me a portfolio, it's giving me a toolkit that I can utilize not only on the day that I create it, but also at different points. And so daily drive-bys are just a thought that I had where, let me just spit this knowledge. Let me just spit this, the thoughts, the questions, the life gotchas at people, because I don't know who they can relate to. And so I wanted to start these because I do some driving, not a lot these days. You know, when I drive, I've noticed that I don't like to listen to music as much. And I don't connect with hip hop like I used to. I'm listening to more like rock and country, or like Tyler Childers, that kind of like vibe. I think that's considered country, folk, I have no idea. But what I'm realizing is, like, all this rap music that I was putting into my ears, putting into my brain on a consistent basis, was just filtering this nonsense of drugs, bitches, fucking other girls, alcohol, violence. And I'm like thinking to myself, it's very catchy. I always love hip hop music and I will always fucking listen to it. But like, at the rate I was listening to it, it was just like insane. And so I put down the music just like I would for like social media if I'm doing too much of it. All right, let's push it to the side. I don't need it to consume my life. And what I've realized is, like, driving to and from the gym, I just kind of like to think about life, use that time to visualize, use that time to think on what's been happening over the course of the last few days, weeks, months, things that I have coming up, how I can be a better person each and every day, what I can work on, things that I may be lacking in, habits that I may have stopped doing, all of that stuff. And so when I was thinking about that, driving in the car, I'm like, I need to capture some of these thoughts. I need to capture some of these things that I'm thinking about, even if I don't post it every day, because guess what? There's going to be drive-bys that I don't post because they're extremely personal or they're extremely emotional for me. But, for instance, sometimes it's thinking about like my dad and why he's gone, and still me not being able to understand why he got taken from me at such a pivotal point in my life, a point where I was getting ready to transition into being a man and going out on my own in this world. Because like, it's hard, like going to my friends' weddings and seeing, father-daughter dance. Like, why did I have to be the one to do that with my sister? Like, that's not fair to her. She was a daddy's girl. She loved him, and she didn't have him there to walk her down the aisle or do the father-daughter dance. Like, it's just those things. And so some of them are a little bit deeper, just because I truly believe that in life, one of the reasons why we get depressed and anxious is because we hold so much in internally. We don't take the time nowadays to process and think and feel what's going on in life, because we can numb ourselves to the environment of, let me pick up my phone and go on social media. Let me go over to a friend's house. Let me call somebody. Let me turn on the TV and watch Netflix. There's all these things that we can escape this true reality that we actually live in, to mask the pain of things that we've been through when it comes to dealing with tragedy, dealing with heartache, dealing with past decisions, dealing with, fuck, I shouldn't have done this in life, whether it's drink too much or do drugs or whatever the fuck it is. We all have something that we've been through that has impacted us and changed our life, hopefully for the better. And if it's not for the better because you got into a funk because of it, hopefully you get out of that. And so, for instance, my father passing away, I got in a bad funk because I was not talking, I would not tell, I would not elaborate to anybody about him passing away, and I held all of those emotions in internally because I didn't feel as if I could express them externally to those around me. And I noticed that during that period, and whenever I got to the worst point in my life, to start DTI and to spread this positivity around mental and physical health, a big component of that was because I held in a lot of emotions, trying to deal by myself with my dad passing away. And so through that process and through other things that I've been through in life, I've realized that it is extremely important to talk about those things, whatever those things are. It is important to talk in life about what has happened, what is going on, whatever that is for you. Express it, talk about it, be proud of it, even if it fucking sucks. Because guess what? There's a lesson in everything we go through in life, and that is how we truly get better. We learn how to deal with it, we learn how to get through it, and we learn how to grow from it. And so if you hold everything in that has once impacted you, you can never find the good in it. And so if I would have never started to talk about my dad, I would have never found the good in that situation. I would have never found how much I've actually done in life. And so take your situation and truly think about it. Even if you think it sounds bad, I'm telling you, somebody out there has done something worse. Somebody out there is going through the almost exact same thing that you have went through or are going through. But more importantly, most people are forgiving. Most people are willing to forgive and forget. And I think that is a true testament to this world, is that, yes, there are people that judge, and yes, there are people that have their opinions, but typically those people aren't who you're going to for the advice. Those people aren't who you care if they know the deep down dark secrets about the situation. Those people aren't the ones you go to express how you felt during those situations. And so again, I use my situation as my father passing away, but I could use other things like, alcohol in my family. I could use people that were addicted in my family. I could use insecurities that I had growing up that I internalized and bottled up inside of me. We all have something. And so I express my dad because, again, that's something that impacts me a lot. And I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned through that experience that I can hopefully share and give out to the world, because there's also other people that are going through loss, that have lost somebody close to them, that have lost somebody that they weren't ready to say goodbye to, that lost somebody that they didn't have the chance to say goodbye to. And so with this message is, tell your story. Be proud of your story. And the people that don't want to hear it, or the people that don't care, or the people that act as if they're better than you because of your story, you know now where they need to be in life. And that's a little bit further away from you. And that's okay. That is okay. So take today to reflect on what's going on in your life, to reflect on what you've been internalizing, and see how you can express it to the world. Put it out in the universe. Let it do what it needs to do. But stop hiding behind the things that, society may deem judgment upon, or society may deem opinions upon. None of that matters, because society isn't living in here. Society's not living in here, and society's not living in here. And so you need to make sure this, and this are taken care of. So that way, ultimately, this and in here are taken care of. It's all a system, it's all a process, and they're all connected. So live your truth, live your why, express your story, because I promise you it's motivational. People will find it. And two, you'll find a deeper meaning in life that will allow you to put out more, to give more, and to receive more. So again, thank you. I love doing these daily drive-bys, getting some thoughts out of my head, and expressing them to hopefully motivate and help you, or for you to look at me and be like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyways, whatever you look at these, however you look at these, I hope that you took something away, good or bad. Have at it. But just know that you're powerful, your story is strong, and express that shit to the world. Much love. It's on.